Welcome back, Kleschka Crew, to an episode of Kleschka Picks, week number 6. I missed week number 5. I'm sorry, I was on a huge vacation in Europe. There's a huge Kleschka blog for that. You should go check it out, show the love, show the support. And I know this is a whole series centered around football, but we are rocking the Padres baseball jersey because we are in the middle of the fire of MLB playoffs right now, and I'm rooting for San Diego to go all the way, pick up the victory, and please, baseball gods, please. Also, the episode I missed last week is when bye week started, so you'll see bye weeks on screen somewhere to let you know who is currently on a bye week. Let's get started though. These teams are not on bye week. Starting with Thursday Night Football, my Seahawks against the 49ers. The 49ers, they lost last week. They disappeared in the second half against the Cardinals, and my Seahawks, they might as well have not even showed up. We lost to the Giants. That is depressing. And when our offense is not there, we look terrible, and that was the case last week. And the 49ers, they've been struggling this year. They've had a few injuries, McCaffrey, Debo. They have not been 100%, but they have hit strides, and then they've gone back down to earth. I think their defense is going to be strong enough to shut down our offense, and when the Seahawks offense is not operating, it is a bad show. It is something you do not want to see. It is something I don't want to see, and I think the 49ers will have our number this week. Unfortunately, I hate to say that because the 49ers are my most hated team in football. But yeah, I think they win 24-20. The Bears and Jacksonville. Jacksonville won last week in a very high-scoring game, and the Bears, they scored a lot of points. They got the win. Their opponent did not get a lot of points at all. It was their most dominant win with Caleb Williams by far, if you ask me. And I think they're going to be riding off that confidence, getting that big W, then going up against a team like the Jags, who are not going to light the world on fire. Trevor Lawrence and that offense have not been historically amazing, and I think they will be able to take advantage of that. I think Caleb Williams and the Bears offense are going to be able to roll, continue that momentum, and the defense will slow down the Jags enough for them to get the win. So I think we got the Bears winning this one 23-17. Ravens and Commanders. The Commanders got a big dominant win last week. Jaden Daniels has easily looked like the most impressive rookie QB so far. And the Ravens, they had a battle with Joe Burrow and the Bengals. They came out on the winning end, getting the dub in overtime. And I think this is going to be the first real strong test that Jaden Daniels will face. He has looked great, but going up against a stacked offense with Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and how good they make all the other weapons around them, this is going to be a real test. And I don't think the offense of the Commanders will keep up. I think they will try their best. I think they won't look terrible, but I think it's just going to be too much for them to handle. I think the Ravens win this one 30-23. Browns and Eagles. The Eagles won a bye week last week, which is huge for them. When you get players like Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts to rest, that is going to be a formula for good football. And then you got the Browns, who don't know any formulas for good football. They have been a disaster with Deshaun Watson at the helm. Everything is going downhill. Everything is falling apart, and they're not even doing anything about it. Deshaun Watson, he's playing the football he wants to play. He doesn't want to go for it on fourth down. He walks off the field. Coach does nothing about it. Coach won't bench him. Something is clearly going on in upper management, and they are just going to sit back and watch this crumble. I think the Browns are headed all the way down a deep hole of depression, and I think the Eagles will handle them no problem. I think Philadelphia gets the win 27-13. Packers and Cardinals. The Packers got the win last week against the banged up Los Angeles Rams team, and the Cardinals, they got the win over the 49ers. I've been saying it all year. When that offense is balanced for Arizona, when they can pass and they can run equally, they succeed. They are able to get to their top potential when that is working, and that has been the case all year. As long as they stay healthy, I believe this Cardinals offense is scary and tough to stop, and I think that'll be the case, especially because the Packers offense, Jordan Love is back, but they don't really have a key player with the receivers that is stepping up at the top of the totem pole. It's kind of a rotation. They've had the opportunity for that to happen last week due to some problems within their team, but it is something that has not become clear yet for Green Bay, and I think it is clear where Arizona wants to go with Marvin Harrison, balance it with James Conner running back. I think their offense is going to be the reason they beat Green Bay 24-21. Texans and Patriots. The Patriots lost last week, which is pretty impressive because it was to the Dolphins, who don't have Tua, and the Dolphins offense has looked terrible without Tua. So for your team take an L, that's pretty sad. They are making a QB change, getting rid of Jacoby Brissett and putting in Drake May for the first time, and I don't think that's going to be anything different. I think Drake May is going to get a huge hit of reality for the NFL, especially going up against the Texans, who already have a high-powered offense, who got the win last week against a very good team in the Bills. I think CJ Stroud will have a walk in the park, and he is going to take down this Patriots team no problem. We'll see the struggles early for Drake May. It's going to take an adjustment period, if you ask me, and I think the Texans win this one 31-17. Buccaneers and Saints. The Saints lost to the Chiefs last week, and they also lost their quarterback, Derek Carr, for a few weeks. That is going to be a huge hit, especially going up against the Buccaneers. With Baker Mayfield and the chemistry he has built there in Tampa Bay, I think they are going to be able to handle the Saints no problem without Derek Carr. They lost last week, but they scored a ton, man. They were firing. They were trying to keep up with the Falcons, but they took the L. I don't think that's the case this week. Another division matchup. I think they are going to get back on the right foot. And I think Baker Mayfield shows why he's comfortable on this team, how he's been building all the connections with every single player on this offense. And I think it is going to be a rough day for the backup quarterback in New Orleans going up against Tampa Bay in a high-powered offense and then having to deal with that defense as well. It's not going to be pretty. I think Buccaneers win 30-20. Every single week we do a mid matchup of the week, which means we barely spend any time on this matchup. And for this week, our mid matchup of the week is Colts and Titans. Let's get straight to the point. I think Colts win 27-17. Next, Chargers and Broncos. The Broncos won last week. Bo Nix having his best game in the NFL by far, and the Chargers coming off a bye week. I just don't think they are going to be able to keep up with the momentum the Broncos are going to be riding on. Bo Nix has finally found great success after a game, and I think he wants to keep that. I think he'll be able to take advantage of the Chargers defense, and I don't think the weapons offensively for Los Angeles are going to be able to go toe for toe. I think Justin Herbert is dealing with some injuries, playing through them, and just to deal with that and have to keep up with a team that is hot right now, I don't think it's going to happen. I think we see Denver pick up the win in a close one, 23-20. Steelers and Raiders. The Steelers lost last week in a close one against the Cowboys, but they have looked good so far with Justin Fields, and the defense has been able to keep them in games as well against teams that are high-powered like that. And then you have the Raiders, who lost last week, and I don't think it's going to be much better this week, especially with all the off-field issues, the rumors of Devontae Adams getting traded. Is he actually injured? Is he just faking it so they can trade him and get rid of him? And they're already swapping QBs from Minshew to Aiden O'Connell. So much stuff happening that it's hard to focus on the game, the field. And I think we're going to see that. We're going to see it happen live on the field. And the problems, the struggles, the focus, not fully there. And I think the Steelers pick up the win, 20-16. Lions and Cowboys. The Cowboys have not been playing like themselves the past couple weeks. They've been scraping by. We all know they are better than this. We've seen them play to a much higher level, but something is wrong in Dallas right now. They have not been able to get to that full potential. And the Lions, they had a bye week. When you give a team like the Lions a bye week, who have a great offense with Amon-Ra St. Brown, a two-headed monster in the backfield, and Jared Goff to lead it all, and they got Aiden Hutchinson, who's been killing it so far this year, I think they're going to take advantage of these struggles of the Cowboys and put it on full display. I think the Lions come out of the gates hot this week, and I think they shove it to Dallas, 31-20. Falcons and Panthers. The Panthers returned to form last week, looking garbage as usual. And then the Falcons, they have been quite the opposite. Kirk Cousins, plugged in at quarterback, may have been the right addition. They have been scoring high offense. They've been competing with very good teams, and they've actually been beating some of those good teams. I think it'll be no problem against Carolina. They clearly have not been able to fix the problem of swapping Bryce Young, Andy Dalton. It's not working, man. A lot of changes need to be made before you're going to see success in Carolina. And I think how hot, how many points the Falcons score week to week is definitely going to continue. I think we see the Falcons win this one 30-13. Giants and Bengals. The Giants beat my Seahawks last week, and that still pisses me off, but I think they're going to come back down to earth, especially against a team like the Bengals, who are hot right now. Joe Burrow, even though he lost to the Ravens last week, played a very good game. His defense was not able to stop stop Baltimore. Joe Burrow did everything he could, and I think we'll see that again this week. I think Joe Burrow is going to play to that elite Joe Burrow level that we know. I think he's finally getting back to it, and I definitely don't think the Giants will be able to go toe-to-toe with them. I think we will see Cincinnati beat them 30-23. Bills and Jets. The Bills lost to the Texans last week. It was a very good matchup against two very good teams. They just came out on the losing end of it. It came down to the final kick. That's how good of a game it was. And then you had the Jets, who lost to the Vikings across the pond. They just fired their head coach, Robert Saleh. Kind of feel like Aaron Rodgers had something to do with that because he was coaching the defense pretty well. He was keeping them in games. But if the quarterback ain't playing, what are you supposed to do, man? You can't go out there and play quarterback yourself. So I really think it's something that needs to be addressed first on the field with the offense. Aaron Rodgers, that needs to change. And I don't think that is going to change against Buffalo. Buffalo and Josh Allen, they always keep you on your toes. They're always scoring high points, and I think we'll see that once again. I think Josh Allen gets back on track, gets back in the win column with Buffalo, and I think they will beat New York 33-20. And with that, thank you so much for watching this week of Kleschka Picks. We are back. I'm sorry I missed week 5. We're going to try and keep up with the schedule. Everything has calmed down a little bit now. Like the video, subscribe to our mom, dad, grandma, pets, friends, brother, sister, and uncle. Everybody, subscribe down. Really, I got this, you got this, we all got this. I'll see you next time.